Good morning, guys. How are you? Wow, it feels like it's been forever since I've done a morning vlog. It really hasn't been that long in the grand scheme of things, but sometimes I feel like I do them a lot, and then when I go a little while without, it just makes it kind of feel like forever. But either way, I wanted to talk to you guys this morning. I was sitting there last night and I was watching some of this Noodles stuff unfold and different channels that are talking about him and his kind of complete nosedive that he's taking. He did another video. He actually did 2 videos yesterday that were basically just doubling down on the fact that he's right and everyone else is wrong. And here's the whole thing. I get perception. I get like the way that your perspective is different from my perspective sometimes, and when you get a melting pot of a bunch of different personalities, which is YouTube and social media, because there's all kinds of personalities that hang out online. So I get that different personalities are going to clash, and I might find something distasteful that you find funny. I might think something is really serious when someone else thinks that it's not that serious. That's just existing online. But when I was watching this whole thing unfold with Noodles over the last few months as a whole, the common theme that I'm hearing from so many people is that it's not, you can't just veil everything as comedy. You can't blame everything on being a character. And that's what most people are saying. You can't go around saying that someone looks like a pea. And when he doubles down and wants to tell everyone how correct he is, he'll say, oh, well, it's not that serious because I said Papa Gut looks like a pea. That's where he's trying to kind of back out of this and be like, oh, well, the FBI doesn't care if you say someone looks like a pea. They don't have folders and files of people that they're looking into that look like peas. I'm sure that they're not taking it that serious, blah, blah, blah.
Saying that someone looks like a pedophile is not equivalent to accusing someone of being a pedophile. It is absolutely moronic and disingenuous to even imply that they are the same thing. It's not point blank. There is no room for discussion about this. There isn't a single person in the history of humanity who was ever charged or went to jail for simply looking like a pedophile. People don't get charged for looking like pedophiles. Now, some people may be saying, but you tagged the FBI in a follow-up tweet. Yes, I'm sure the FBI is deeply investigating everyone who looks like a pedophile. They have binders worth of people who look like pedophiles that they're investigating. Yes, I'm sure that law enforcement in this country is taking a break from shooting unarmed black men to do actual investigative work about people who look like criminals. Now,
but saying someone looks stupid versus saying someone looks like a pea, or saying someone looks like a serial killer, or someone looks like a rapist, these kinds of claims carry weight. The part that Noodles is missing is that saying someone looks like a salad is different than saying they look like something that is bad. These are heavy claims to place on someone. And even if you don't think the FBI is going to take you seriously, a claim like that can send someone into a mental health crisis. Someone could, really feel hurt and damage off of claims like that. We're not talking about, oh, I think so-and-so is a bad YouTuber. I think so-and-so is entitled. Those types of opinions are based on actions. The opinion that Noodles put out not only carries weight, but it's also based off of a completely false, it's not an opinion based off of facts. It's not an opinion based off of actions. But the part of this that I really want to talk about is how Deaf Noodles, he had a lot of potential. When you think back to before, I would say prior to 8 months ago, 9 months ago, once he gave up the cat in the Minecraft house shtick, that's kind of where things really started to decline. I often think of how YouTubers are given these platforms and they're admired by people, and people come across them and they really feel good supporting this channel, and they like the person, and they get really invested in your daily uploads or your weekly uploads, whatever your schedule is, and you get people really excited for what's next. They start to connect with you on other platforms. You build these, I don't want to say parasocial relationships, because that's not necessarily what all of them are, but you get people connected to the content that you're creating. And you can build up this really amazing platform. Then one day, things change. And when things shift off and a YouTuber is sitting in a position where they can either take some criticism and listen to their community, or they can lash out, melt down. And I see this a lot more with channels that grow really quickly than I do channels that kind of have organic growth. Not saying it can't happen to the latter, because it can definitely happen to anyone. It just kind of depends on the person's personality and the way that they handle growth. Being financially successful on YouTube comes with a ton of perks, obviously. It feels good to have a platform. It feels good to have a community that cares about your content and the things that you're talking about, whether they're serious or not serious. That can feel really good. And if you're working really hard on your content to make sure that you're not bashing people or spreading misinformation or inciting hate on people, you can feel good about the content that you're putting out. And having a platform to stand on feels really good. There are so many YouTubers out there that I look at that have tiny platforms. Like, I subscribe to channels that have 100 or, less than 500 subscribers. Like, I don't subscribe to someone because of the size of their platform. I subscribe to people based on the content that they're making, their personality. Do I connect with the topics that they discuss? Like, I've never cared about, oh, this person only has 80 subscribers. I'm not gonna, no, like, who cares? But there are so many people that have small platforms like that, and they would literally do anything to have more traction on their channel. They're working really hard on their videos, and they're working, they're trying to not be a menace, and they're trying to make sure that their videos are a decent production quality, and they're talking to their subscribers, and they're not being entitled. But it just kind of sucks, because you see some of the small channels that would do anything to have more traction, and it just seems like then you have these bigger YouTubers who are just being terrible people, either on or offline. Sometimes it's behind the scenes. And yet, they're the ones that have the platform. I just personally could never imagine building up my platform. I have a really small channel, like, in the grand scheme of things, but I am so happy to have the community that I have. You guys have told me in the past when I've gotten things wrong, or, try to look at it from this perspective, here's a little more info. let me educate you from this point of view, because you guys have life experience that I don't have, and I might have a perspective that you haven't heard, and I'm so grateful for my community. And it didn't matter back when I had 200 subscribers or now with over 18,000. I adore my community, and I could not imagine letting you guys down to the degree that someone like Deaf Noodles has let his audience down. I think that it's tragic, and I think of a lot of the YouTubers that I've talked about on my channel. Love Meg, Brianna K, Deaf Noodles, all the family vloggers. To have an audience that size and just one day decide, screw you guys, I'm not going to listen to you, even though a large part of my audience is saying the exact same thing and they're raising the exact same concerns. I'm not going to listen to you guys. Kick rocks, fuck off. You're not my real fans, because my real fans are here to, quote, fuck with me, as Dennis wanted to say 15 times in his video yesterday.
And you can either fuck with me or not. It's your life.
As I said before, real fans and fans that care about your content and your presence and want to see you around, and they want to see you there for the long haul, and they don't want to see you nosedive and, take your channel off a cliff. Those are your real fans, and they are the ones who are going to come to you and say, this ain't it. And when you're hearing that from such a large part of your audience, it should be something that is reflected on and not veiled as trolling. I think that what ends up happening is, with a lot of these YouTubers, the only thing that is shown to the audience is their lack of self-awareness. And I talk about self-awareness a lot, and am I the best at having self-awareness? No, I'm not the best at anything. But I do think that you need to have some level of self-awareness in order to exist online and not look like a massive hypocrite, not look like you're a professional victim, not look like you can't take any criticism. Because if you do have some self-awareness, then when times like this happen, you can say, wow, a lot of people are saying the same thing. Maybe instead of responding with a useless video, maybe I should take a break, reevaluate and reassess what I'm doing on my channel. I think Dennis needs to take a social media break. And I'm saying social media break because I don't think that it should only be YouTube. I think it should be Twitter, Instagram, all of it. Because something is going on there. And maybe it's just as simple as he just doesn't have self-awareness and that's just what it is. But in my mind, I think that there's something a little bit more going on. And I do really hope that he gets the help that he needs. And maybe the help that he needs is just spending time with family and friends and taking some time offline. But it could be something more, but I don't want to speculate. So either way, it's just unfortunate. Build up these YouTubers, give them a platform, and some of them don't disappoint, and some of them just do exactly what we're seeing with Deaf Noodles. So either way, those are going to be my thoughts for now. So if you liked the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.